I
see that.
I meant to tell you.
It's live, and we're dark in here. I'm gonna get that
No,
light
no,
on.
it's loading. It's loading.
I see.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
My head is cut off.
I told you to get low.
Get
you didn't
low?
listen to me. We got it all set up, and I was like, we need to get not that low, because now I look huge. Wait, can I go any lower? How is everybody today? Hey, Uncle Bo knows. How are you doing?
So like I'm the big kid at the little table.
Maritza and Monty. Nice to see you guys today. I'm sorry. I had a moment, y'all. We went to go get something to eat, and they lost our ticket, and we had to leave because we had to be here. It's like 4 minutes down the road. We just walked down there. Went there. We were eating, having a great time, and we're like, wow, it's been like 25 minutes. I'm like, well, you know, COVID and all this other stuff. Maybe they're just running slow or low staffed.
We were the only ones that had ordered food when we walked in there.
Yes, and so then like people started like ordering food and like getting appetizers, and I'm like, where's our food? And this lady, like, we asked somebody else, like one of our, not our waiter, but somebody else, and they went and checked on it, and our waiter came back and was like, oh, we lost your ticket. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I really want it.
Yeah,
I really wanted my enchiladas.
Fajitas Durango coming that had tomatoes and jalapenos, bacon, Monterey Jack cheese melted on there, but I didn't get to eat it.
So yeah, so we're kind of bummed, but I think that we can all be cheered up on the live stream. I've actually been kind of looking forward to this live stream, just because I don't get to talk to you guys as much. Joe does most of the vlogging right now.
Oh, got my leg.
And so I don't get to do as much, but yeah. So for those of you, I know we still got people jumping on. But for those of you who do not know or have never been to a live video before, this is just what we call a family meeting. So we talk a little bit about the reselling culture. We talk a little bit about the environment and, you know, what's the climate, I guess is the word I was looking for, the reselling climate.
It's hot here.
We do a lot. We do a lot of Q&A. So, you know, a lot of times people will email me and ask me questions about buying pallets, sourcing, you know, organization, things like that. And it's like, you know, it's really hard for me to answer those in email. So we invite those people to jump on here. So if you have questions, please make sure you put them in all caps. If you see some of the people speaking in the chat, like you can see Uncle Bo knows there, those people who are in blue with little wrenches to the side, they are vetted moderators. So they help us answer questions. They help make sure all the questions get answered. And they, you know, they're also really great sources of information. So when we talk about stuff.
And if you see people in green, those are our YouTube members. So thank all of you who have signed up to help support us, get sneak peeks, and extra inside info and videos that you normally wouldn't see on our channel.
I hope you guys are enjoying the extra content. Those of you who are part of the YouTube memberships, I've been working hard on trying to figure out how I'm going to do all of that. So we do have a pretty cool unboxing coming out on Saturday. But for those of you who are tier 2 and up, you'll get that tomorrow. You'll get it tomorrow. Wow, this week is like.
Yes, it's going by fast.
Going by.
Super fast. So it's awesome. Miss Patricia, she's seen us on TV and then found us here on YouTube.
Yay! That's awesome.
So I actually had somebody
I'm the funnier one.
She's very funny. I've had people, if y'all send me friend requests on Facebook, I'm sorry, we don't accept friend requests for people unless we do like know them in real life.
I actually don't use Facebook at all.
Yeah.
I personally don't use Facebook at all. I have a Facebook. And then when I started doing YouTube, I pretty much took all of my pictures and everything off of it. And I just now use it for Facebook Marketplace. So if you send me a friend request and I don't accept it, it's probably because I didn't see it.
But you can follow us, the Family Flips Facebook page. We post stuff there also if you're wanting to stay connected with us on Facebook. We just don't do the friend request on Facebook because we're kind of, you know.
Look at all these friends, all these people.
So many people.
Julian, Storage Scavenger, hello, how are you? And then, of course, Pamela. Hey, Kiwi girl. Aren't you in New Zealand? Is that where you're at? New Zealand? Thank you, Nana Club. Woo! Thanks, Nana.
Miss Linda says that we are the best group on the show. Thank you.
Yimi Reyes.
It's her. She
Kendra.
makes us the best. I don't know if y'all watched.
Jose.
What is Thursday? I guess the
Tuesday
series season I hope it was the season finale and not the series finale of Extreme Unboxing was on Tuesday night. We don't have any clue if there's going to be season 2 yet. I've asked.
Nobody
they
knows.
won't tell. It's up to the programming department at A&E.
But when we find out and we can announce it, we'll let you know. I don't know if we'll be on it, because they could go on in a completely different direction and not need us. But either way, we were on the first season and we were super stoked about it. And we were really happy. So if that's all that comes of it, like, we'll be super excited. But if there's more, of course, we will jump at the opportunity.
Yep.
So, we've got some questions coming in. I know Maritza said that she lives in Florida, or you.
Florida is our third most watched state. It's California and then Texas and then Florida, New York, and then Ohio.
But I actually have heard that a lot of people are having a hard time sourcing pallets in Florida right now. I don't know exactly why. I don't know if any of you guys out there have any insight to that, but you are not the first one who said that you can't source pallets in Florida, and then shipping them from out of state into Florida is significantly more expensive than in a lot of other places. So if anybody has any insight to that, I would also like to know, because we're really getting a lot of comments on that.
Are we?
I've gotten at least one email, and then the last 2 or 3 lives, we've had somebody say that, at least somebody say, not even ask, but just say, we're having a hard time sourcing in Florida. Yeah. Or does anybody know of a liquidator in Florida? That and in Louisiana. I don't
know of any liquidators in Louisiana.
Yeah. So,
or Alabama or Mississippi.
Yeah.
For some reason, they just skip right there. Lots in Texas.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Let's see. Kimber, welcome to the live. Jimmy asked, what's the most expensive thing we found in pallets so far?
Probably the scratched up sink.
The sink. Have we told you guys about the story about the sink?
Everybody knows about the sink.
Well, not that sink, the other sink.
Well, that was the most expensive one. The 2 most expensive items that we've gotten are sinks. And
everybody knows about the sink that was all scratched up that we got in a pallet in a recent unboxing. Well, it's not recent, it was a few months ago. But there was another one when we had the warehouse. And that sink was worth $4,000. And here's the problem. This is where we learned. Was it $4,000? It was $4,000.
It was only $1,000.
No, it wasn't. It was $4,000.
It's on the video.
I'm going to have to look it up. We're going to have to look it up. I'm going to have to go back. I'm pretty sure it was worth way more than $1,000. Maybe, I would say maybe $3,000 maybe. But it was huge. It was a giant sink.
It's huge.
It was not ceramic. It was porcelain, I think. It was super expensive. I remember looking at it and being like, who would pay this much for a sink? It was I don't know, maybe in my head I'm thinking like, we caught a fish this big, but it's really like this big. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's how I remember stuff sometimes. So I could be wrong, but it was a super expensive sink. And we scanned the item on the box before we opened it up. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And then we opened it up and it was shattered in a million pieces. And it was probably the most painful thing that ever happened in my life. No, not really, but it was pretty sad.
There was another question up here.
We also got a few 3D printers that were really good too.
They do. Silhouette of a Stranger asks,
hey, what's up?
How much money does it take to start this? Man, my words are not
You're doing a great job.
Not connecting with my mouth. How much money does it start? How much money do you need? How much money do you need to start this kind of thing? You can start reselling with no money whatsoever. Start selling stuff around your house, stuff you don't need anymore, movies, books, games, clothes, shoes, furniture. So you can do that. You can
That's how you get good startup money too, without investing your own money.
But you can start with as little as $100, $200, $300, $500, $4,000. It really depends on how much money you have.
And then once you have at least a little bit of money, just start shopping around for pallets. Because I could sit here and say, oh, the average Amazon return pallet is like, $300, $300, $300 to $500. But that could change. Like, I could say that you get that much money, and then pallets prices skyrocket or decline. It's hard to tell. So I think it starts with you looking at pallets and what they cost, what kind of, once you figure out, I could probably move these kinds of pallets. Something I have a little bit of extra time. I could probably do returns. They're a little riskier, but maybe I could do something like
liquidation.
that.
It's risky to begin
right.
with.
I know I have a local way to source to move items. I have an online way to move these items. I'm going to start looking now so that when I'm ready to buy, I'm not like, oh my gosh, where do I even start?
Yeah, and you can try even box lots. We actually just got a box in today that we haven't unboxed it yet from Bargain Hour. It's a electronics business in a box. It's supposed to be 50 electronics in there. It's $300. We use a 10% off coupon. It's like $305 after shipping. I know Bulk has boxes that you can buy for $100, $150 on up. What's up, Blood, Sweat, and Sell? And then TJ said hello up there earlier. And I think we missed some more questions.
And Marie. Did that answer your question? Silhouette of a Stranger. Just let me know if there's something else that you kind of wanted to know, if there's something a little more specific. Somebody asked if we did storage lockers. We do not. Not totally against it. It's just with the amount of time that we have, it would be really difficult for us to clear out a storage unit in the time that we have allotted. So that's one of the main reasons why we don't do it, but we don't have anything against it either.
Yeah.
So,
the Kiwi girl, Allie, asked, have we started planning the 25K
that's
party?
So crazy, y'all.
I know.
That is
it should
so
be like in
crazy.
6 days, 5 days.
I was literally working on some posts and I was trying to find some old pictures of the flea market booth. And I scrolled back and I remember when I had taken a picture of us having 6,000 subscribers. And that was
just 2 months ago.
But I was super I was like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. And now we're at like 24,000, y'all. Like I'm like blown away.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I've reached out to some different companies to see about trying to do some giveaways and stuff. And nobody wants to cooperate. They don't. They don't want to play.
Nobody wants to play.
They don't. They just want to give like discount codes and stuff where you have to spend money, but they don't want to do any free stuff. So we're probably gonna do some stuff. I just don't know what yet. But we
better get on it because 25,000 is happening.
And then
do we ever?
Is that Yami Reyes asked about intellectual property complaints? How do we manage that? That was the next question.
Did you guys receive any intellectual property complaints, and how do we manage it? Yes,
lots.
We have.
We are kicked off of Amazon because of copyright infringement, alleged copyright infringement. We got accused by 3 Chinese companies that we violated their copyright, which we didn't. That we had the right to sell it because we're selling items in used condition, and according to the law of first sale, we have the right to sell it in used condition.
This is why we personally don't recommend selling on Amazon liquidated goods unless you're doing like brand new items and you're doing like wholesale or something like that, because I would stay away from Chinese goods entirely, just because they want to be able to make the sale for themselves. They don't want you to make the sale for them, so they're going to flag you, and then in Amazon you're guilty until proven innocent. So we actually have some money sitting in Amazon. It's been sitting in Amazon for a couple of years now, but we have to hire a lawyer and do all the stuff so that we can get it back. And it's like, that's just not a project we can tackle right now.
But with eBay, it's pretty easy. You know, there's a Vero, V-E-R-O list. eBay is a lot more forgiving when it comes to that type of thing versus Amazon.
Yep. So I don't know if you guys wanted that whole story, but there it is. Do we ever go to the stores that have the bins? Yes. We don't like it.
The bins?
We've been to the bins, haven't we?
No, they're talking about not talking about Goodwill bins. They're talking about like we used to do bin sales at our warehouse.
Oh, okay.
The only one that we went to Market Street Liquidator in Springfield. They have some bins there. I know there's specific stores that do bin sales. We used to have bin sales when we had our warehouse, but I have never been to source items before. I know that you can find a lot of items in there, but I know, there's a lot of good items that are in there. What?
Oh, somebody was saying the story. Liquidation King says the story's better at 4,000 for the sink. I'm telling you, I really think it was. I'm gonna have to go back and look. It's on YouTube. I gotta find it. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
The first, our first unboxing. No, was it the first one?
I don't know if it was the first one, but it was one of the first ones.
The first unboxing.
Y'all don't have to look at my dress.
Maybe the second or third unboxing.
Brenda says that this is all fascinating. We're fascinating.
She's fascinating.
I'm fascinating. Y'all, I am super believe it or not, I am really, really disappointed that I didn't get my enchiladas.
Kimber asked, how did we decide to do this? How long have we been reselling?
Joe sold me on the idea.
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, do it.
And I was like, I don't want to do this. I was actually a very unsupportive spouse for the reselling business, actually. So I was waiting for you to kind of jump into like a brief story.
I was reading I originally started reselling when I was like a young kid, reselling stuff like baseball cards and Laffy Taffies and Airheads and stuff. But I originally started selling on eBay probably 10 years ago. And then I started doing it part-time probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. And then I quit my job working as a food and beverage director for Hilton Hotel and started selling full-time. And then we got into liquidation specifically because we used to sell mostly cell phones and consumer electronics like tablets, modems, and routers. And during that time, we were doing $35,000 to $40,000 a month in revenue. We had like 3-4 employees, including the babysitter, and the market changed pretty much within a matter of weeks. How we were buying phones, the prices went up like 200 to 300%. So we needed to find something else to sell, and we started liquidation as a result. And
it was awful. The first pallet was terrible. I don't even know how, like I tell people all the time, I really have no idea how we got another pallet after the first one. The first one was awful. We just didn't know very much. We were learning the hard way. And that's a big reason why we do this. Like we do this so that you guys don't have to learn the hard way. You know, we are really, really good at learning the hard way.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm laughing because Tom King wants to know when you're going to do one of those tubes of face mask, and he's going to get an Instagram if you do it there.
We'll probably do it on, I don't know if it'll be a live. Should it be a live video?
No, because it takes a minute for it to dry and stuff. You don't have to sit in there for 20 minutes.
It'll be on Facebook or Instagram.
We can do both. There. Why not both?
At some point, but I'll do it. It'll be funny.
Where are we at?
Kendra asked about shipping is what getting. Love to hear tricks or knowledge. I talk about this shipping all of the time in vlogs.
Yeah.
A shipping video would be not something that I would want to do.
It's too dry. The thing is like with shipping stuff, it's like we could do a whole video on it, but it's like there's a lot of videos out there already that kind of talk about shipping. So what we try to do is we try to teach the aspects of our business while we're doing it. Because it's just a different style. Some people just don't learn from those tips and tricks videos, which we do every once in a while. We do release a tips and tricks video. I'm in a rolly chair and I can't not roll. And so, but it's like one of those where it's like, we also want to be engaging and kind of teach like as if you're on the job with us or as if you're hanging out with us. And that helps. I know that one of the biggest, for like things like shipping or processes and stuff, we always recommend Chris Lynn from Daily Refinement. He has an eBay store. He does a lot of really good, like just straight
tips and tricks,
like straight to the point kind of thing. And he's got tons of stuff on shipping. So if you're really looking for like trying to figure stuff out, he might be a good one to look into and check out.
We try to stay as much lifestyle and entertainment as possible, throwing in nuggets of education in there, but our primarily focus with YouTube is entertainment and telling our story of our lives and what we do. That's our focus.
And we never ship pillows for that reason.
Yep.
Because it's so expensive to ship. We actually would rather like cut the cost down to like $5 and sell them locally, even if they're worth a little bit more, just so that we can get them out, get them moving, and then move on to something else that can make us more profit.
Yeah.
So that's just personally, that's just what we do. Some people are like, no.
We got a bunch of pillows. Is that
pillows.
Right? Off of a couple different unboxings that we did. They were 22 by 22 inch and 24 by 24 inch. And we sold them all locally because they're only selling for like $26 for the case. And it would have cost us that much to ship. Places like Amazon will sell them for that price because they will take the loss on the item because it keeps people coming back.
Yep. Mariella's seconds the face mask. I'm trying to keep up with, we're trying to answer questions, but also keep up with the live chat.
And then Mariella's asked how long we've been on YouTube.
How long have we been on YouTube? It's been
2 years, back in May. So May 2018.
So when a lot of people don't know this, and we've actually removed these videos. But we actually, well, not just that, but it just didn't fit what we were trying to do at that point. But the biggest thing that our YouTube is to help people make a little bit of extra money. We've always had a desire for that. Both Joe and I know what it's like to have money, and we also know what it's like to not have money. So we've been on both sides of the spectrum, both in just our lives, even before we met each other. And so one of the things that we realize is that, for a lot of people, an extra $300 a month, like, could change lives. Like, that could change people. And so we always look for ways to be able to make that extra money. And at first, we did this thing called phone farming, which is basically where you take a cell phone like this one, and you play ads, and those ads, they pay you fractions of pennies. But if you have a farm of phones, I wonder if there's anybody on. Sometimes we get some people on our live stream that were there from our phone farming days. But then things started getting, at first it was really great and all was good, but then gray areas started happening. Like, then they started adding it in their terms of service, and then you're like, well, technically this isn't legal anymore, kind of thing. And that's when we first started doing YouTube videos. And there is actually a video floating out there somewhere of some bloopers that Joe did when we first started.
They're funny.
And so, but it was really difficult. It was really difficult to do. So we started doing that. Then we started talking about reselling. But then we realized that we would be we'd be allowing people to replicate what we were doing and creating our own competition. So it's like, how can we help people do this without giving away our bread and butter? And that's where everything just kind of started slowly and organically.
We'd film those videos, and it would take me so long to film those videos because they're more like standing in front of a camera and I'm going to talk about these three things. I'm not a very good teacher when it comes to, I'm very like conversational. I just need to talk for like 5 minutes. And you can pick out the stuff that you want versus like, I'm going to talk about this thing in a minute and a half. That's why we don't really like tips videos. Like,
we're just not very good at it.
3 tips videos, because it's just, my brain complicates things because I'm like, well, what about this? Then what about this? And then I'm just.
See, he and I could sit here and we could sit in front of a camera and we could talk all day long and teach like this. Like, if you guys were all sitting in front of us and we were just in a big circle and we were talking, we could talk and we could teach like that, no problem. But if you give us a script and say, you have to say X, Y, and Z, we can't do it. We're like, but that's not entirely accurate, because what if this happens, or what if that happens? And we're like, oh, this is just too much. So there you go.
So that's why we don't do a lot of stuff, because it's.
Did you know that anyone can do this with a phone farmer?
Yeah. Yes. He's been with us since the beginning.
I know, but I didn't know he was a phone farmer. I thought we were just friends.
No, he started the phone farm. Like, he did liquidation before he had stopped.
That's where I got messed up.
Right.
Because he
did. And then he got back into liquidation. So yes. Couple questions. Shipping supplies with coupons from eBay. Yes, we use those in the 2 eBay stores that we have every quarter. That's where I get a lot of our poly mailers and bubble mailers. I get them from those coupons. Brenda Gallagher asked, do we buy or sell vintage clothing, t-shirts, jeans? We don't buy or sell any vintage stuff because we don't like to shop. 1, 2, we don't know anything about that type of stuff.
You can't really buy pallets.
I mean, you can.
Well, you can,
but
you can't.
It's through select suppliers, and you got to have good relationships for that.
I'm not really good at that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not really good at vintage antique kind of things. Now, my mother and father-in-law, they are great at that. My father-in-law actually used to own an antique shop, and he's really good at shopping. Like I could tell him like, hey, he found our trailer. We needed a trailer, and we're like, oh, we're trying to find a trailer, and he's like, oh, well, I know a guy who knows a guy, and we got a trailer. Like he's just
for a lot less than
super talented in that. Yeah. And he's really good at like striking deals and stuff. That's just not our forte. Totally not against it. I know who does a lot of collectibles. What's his name? Primetime Treasure Hunter does a lot of collectibles.
Rally Roots, they do a lot of vintage clothing and stuff. It's just not our.
See, I always recommend that you guys watch like different resellers and different liquidators. I love that you guys are here with us and stay with us. But if you do really want to do this, I would recommend that you look at a variety of different people and see what they do, just so that you can figure out what works best for you. And we want to support you in however way that looks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mary, I've talked with her. She said she would help me out. I haven't sent her the information. Part of me doesn't want to, because then I might be tempted to sell it on Amazon. She asked about reaching out to Eat Sleep Amazon on Instagram to help get our Amazon account back. I don't want to sell on Amazon because I just don't think they're a very good company. I just don't think they're a good company.
Hello, Shannon.
So I think I may be tempted to do it, and then it would be that internal conflict. So I've just not even tried because I just don't want to.
Yep. Okay. I'm trying to look. I'm looking down. We're scrolling through.
Shannon asked, they said, do we love Market Street?
We do. We do like it. We like their transparency. They have a Facebook group, and every time that he gets like
Facebook page.
What did I say?
Group.
I meant page. But he has a Facebook page, and he goes live in there all the time. And I love the authentic, like the what's the word I'm looking for? It's not authentic. Transparency. I love the transparency because he's like, look, this is where our stuff comes from. This is what it looks like. This is what's going to happen to it. Like, and you can just see the process. Like he lets you see the process, which I really like. I really like that. So,
but we plan on going back next Friday and Saturday. I don't know what day we're going, but we're going to take the kids back swimming and stuff.
Loved it last time.
A different place. We ate out too much.
We did. We sure did.
We've got a hotel that has a full kitchen in it. So we don't have to eat out as much.
I just saw Tom King's comment again about the face mask, and I'm really stoked to do it. We're doing it. We're doing it this weekend. I'm just saying. Okay, is that okay with you?
Yes.
I'll probably ask you first. Is this okay with you?
There's 2 questions about 888 lots. One is a reseller certificate. You should be able, in relation to 888 lots. If y'all are going to buy liquidation, I would get a resale. It's pretty much a sales tax permit. It's just you file with your state business license wherever you live. You can just do a Google search, business license, Arkansas, reseller certificate, Arkansas. Search that. It will show you how to do it. You just submit it with the state. You give them however much money it costs. They send it to you. You get a license. But that allows you to buy tax-free. A lot of these larger companies online, they won't deal with you if you don't have it because they want it for their records. Uncle Bo asked about our 88 lots. If we're liking them. Are we liking our 88 lots?
I actually am liking it. I didn't think I would like them. Because, I don't know, it's like when you get an Amazon pallet, like it could be a general merchandise Amazon pallet. You can get just like anything. But then you're like, oh, well, like this, HBA pallet, like the good Lord, home bath accessories.
The drugstore
stuff. I was like, well, I know it's going to be this kind of stuff, but I actually really did have a lot of fun with it. So we did, y'all, I'm so sad, but I can't find the shoes footage. We had a box of shoes and we filmed it as we opened it. It was really good. And I can't find it anywhere. And I don't know. I don't tell Joe.
I think she deleted it. Yeah, she did. So,
but we've been doing videos for months and months and months. And this is the first time
It is.
You know, here's what I think happened. So my one of my really, really good friends from high school had a baby shower.
That's what happened to it.
Had a baby shower. And
it was a 32 gigabyte that you gave her. And I filmed it on a 32.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And I had done some pictures for her gender reveal. And so I wanted to give them to her, but sending them electronically, like through Dropbox and stuff, just wasn't working. So I gave her an SD card, and I believe that I cleared off the footage.
Yes.
But don't tell Joe. Joe doesn't know.
Yeah. But yes, reselling wise, it's the 888 lots has been super easy. Whitney and Wally have been getting like
they're so fast.
300 or 400 items listed a week.
They're so fast.
And I need more stuff. Like it's part of the thing I've been sharing in the last 2 vlogs. One will come out tomorrow, and then one will come out on Sunday. Is about the problem that we're running into now. Is that we don't have enough inventory. What?
Nothing.
What did Tom say about my beard?
I'm just sitting here thinking, I mean, it's not like groomed. It hasn't been groomed in a while. It's a little ragged. I'm like, he's going to get some hair ripped.
Yeah. But before, because we used to sell $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 a month in cell phones before COVID-19 hit. Once COVID-19, like we are down to probably $2,500 a month in sales in cell phones because we can't buy them for a good price anymore. So for us, is like we used to do liquidation used to be more part-time for us. Like we've never said that we have been full-time liquidators until now. I say liquidators, but full-time, and I guess we're still
liquidation resellers.
I say we're still not full-time because we have a business, like we have employees. So it's different for us because we have set this up to have it functional without us. But it took us 5 years to get to this point.
And a lot of mistakes. We probably could have done it faster if we knew what we were doing.
Yes, but we have all, like our business, we have always wanted this business.
Part of the family.
Hadn't she been part of the family?
No,
she just.
Thank you. Oh, she's a weekend warrior. Girl, we about to go to weekend warrior.
You distracted me, and I totally don't even remember what I was saying now.
Oh, sorry. We were talking about making our business function.
Yeah, we've always wanted to own our business and not have our business own us. So we have taken less money for a long time so that we can foundationally have our business function without us. Like we could literally, like we could buy, and we do unboxings and stuff, but like if we wanted to, I could buy the stuff and then never touch it again. And we've done that because we want the freedom to be able to do YouTube, to sell stuff. Like I like building businesses, but I don't want to work in the business all of the time. But I also know that as you grow it, you have to, like you have to. But we're at this point now where like, I don't have to. So like Whitney and Wally, they've been blowing through listings. We can't get enough inventory. I mean,
it's a good problem to have, really.
We can, but now it's like, because before we would buy a pallet a week and we would unbox it, and then we started selling more than that. And then now, since Whitney is listing only liquidation stuff and not cell phones and cameras, now it's like we need a lot more liquidation stuff. But it's like business sense, for unboxing, it's like, well, do we buy inventory and then not unbox it, because then we miss out on potential revenue from YouTube ad revenue? But we can't do any more unboxings really than probably 2 right now. So it's like we've got to buy inventory that we're not going to unbox so that
on camera.
Yes. So that Whitney and Wally can list more.
Yes.
Because the system that I have set up, it's working pretty well. So.
Yep. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you, Joe. I really didn't mean to. I just got really excited.
You did. I mean, it's an exciting thing.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of individualized attention. So you'll be getting your money's worth.
For now.
Yes.
Until other people join in.
Yeah.
So somebody asked, while you're scrolling down to get the other ones, I'm at the very, very bottom here. So somebody asked what a weekend warrior is. So if you look at the if you scroll down to the, if you're not on the live chat, and you go where the subscribe button is, right next to that subscribe button is a button it says join. It's a white button. It's got blue letters on it. It's called join. So one thing, we used to do Patreon. We don't anymore because it didn't fit. And that's one of those things that I tell you guys all the time is that Joe and I, we do things, we try it. If it doesn't work, we toss it and then we try to find something else. So one thing that we like about YouTube memberships is that it gives us the ability to be able to give you guys exactly what you want.
All in one place.
All in one place. We're feeling pulled in a lot of different directions because we've got a very diverse group of people that watch our channel. We've got a lot of people who are not interested in reselling at all, but really enjoy watching the process, really enjoy watching the unboxings. So we want to be able to give more information like that. But there are other people who are like, we're not even interested in that. Show us how to resell. Show us how to build a business. And so we want to be able to do that as well. So what we've done is we've created these tiers. And so there's a low level tier, which is basically you're just helping us lower the amount of ads we put in our videos. And in exchange for that, we give you some sneak peeks, some things that we don't really post on social media either because it just doesn't fit with, you know,
some people want like natural living videos.
We get a lot.
If we did that on a YouTube video, and we did a lot of that stuff. It would confuse people. People would get confused. Yeah. And for the large part of the audience is that you give them too much of those videos, they'll stop watching. And the way that YouTube works is that if somebody stops watching, well, they will stop sending notifications to you. They won't even show those videos to you anymore. So we would be turning off people that really help us.
Yes. So basically YouTube is a business and we do treat it that way, but we also have a desire to give people exactly what they want. And so that's a big thing of what YouTube memberships is. The top two tiers, which are called Weekend Warrior and Family Business, they're just geared around like me being able to give concentrated effort to a group of people who want to build a business, people who have lots of very specific questions. There is a private Facebook group that I have there. I will go live there every once in a while. I'll post videos in there. People who are part of that, they get my liquidation guide when it's finished. Just things like that, all kinds of things. But people who are the audience that wants to watch us for entertainment, who just think that, you know, our life is really interesting and they love us and I'm thankful for it, they're not interested in a liquidation guide. So YouTube membership is just a way for me to be able to give exactly what I want to the people who want whatever it is.
But it allows us also to take time away from other aspects of the business, of our business, so that we can spend time doing it. Like with the Weekend Warrior Family Business, like we have a specialized Facebook group just for those people that you have access. You need a question answered, you can put it in there and you're probably going to get your question answered probably within 20, 30 minutes versus somebody sending an email or a Facebook message or Instagram message that we may or may not get to within a couple of days.
Right.
So that's it.
Whitney's here. Everybody say hi to Whitney.
Where's Whitney?
Right
oh, hey, Whitney.
Whitney's on the bottom.
We're just talking about how awesome you and
we
Molly
literally
are.
were just talking about how fast you guys
I was talking about you in a vlog. I don't know which one to Whitney. Maybe the one that's coming out tomorrow about how appreciative I am of you.
Yeah.
And,
honestly,
Whitney,
guys, y'all need to know that we would not be here without her the way that we are.
We wouldn't be able to do what we do with it if it wasn't for Whitney. And like I'm for like, you know, we always encourage people like to live your dreams and to pursue your dreams. But at the same time, you need a strong supporting cast in order to do that. And Whitney is like,
she's like number one support. Like she's like supportive.
Yes.
So, do we sell?
We do not sell the 88. We sell the items individually on our eBay page. But we are not selling the lots. 888 Lots does that, and they do a lot of stuff. I was talking to the owner the other day. They have a humongous operation. They have like 128 sorters because I was talking to him about an issue that I had with the invoice, the toys. We've got, I guess it was the toys. Yeah, it was toys that we just unboxed. When I was looking at it, the manifest, the numbers were funky, but I helped them realize that there is an issue with their IT with some coding that was messing stuff up, but we don't sell it.
Yep. Yes. Okay. Hey, Harold, I'm glad that you made it on here. I know we've been talking through email. So he's finally jumped on. So if you do have questions, Harold, make sure you put it in the comments so we can kind of talk that out. Cause I know that's something that you've been really trying to do for a couple of weeks now. He missed the last one. Okay. So,
I like Harold. Harold always has good, insightful posts. Whenever you comment, I always enjoy them. Yes.
Yep. Okay. Let me think. I think we got it. Are we still thinking about selling pallets?
In the future, I think really for us, I don't know how much of it I want to talk about it here because YouTube's funny when it comes to censorship and stuff. It's like we had a video censored the other day. I would say censored. The video I did on Monday that had the 9/11 introduction, Facebook demonetized it because they felt that it wasn't appropriate because it had 9/11 stuff. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
We've got multiple of that question.
Okay.
Right there, so.
You do not need a business license or a reseller's license to sell merchandise. You do not have to have it. It's not required, but
recommended.
It's recommended. I believe your city, depending on how your city law is set up, if you are selling items as a business, meaning that you're not just selling your personal items, that you are buying items with the intent to resell, then you're supposed to register with your city and get a DBA, like you're doing business as. A lot of people don't know that, but they do require that, a lot of cities. So you would have to look into your own city or county laws about that. But they could ticket you if they wanted to, which is ridiculous, but they could.
Yes. I hope that answers your question. If you guys have more specific questions, are you guys talking about just to sell merchandise, or are you talking about to purchase? Because that's a different answer.
Yeah.
Because purchasing, there are some places that will not require, or that will require you to have.
But Edward asked, do you need both? It's one license. It's just a lot of people call it a lot of different things. It's called a sales and use tax permit. It's called a business license. It's called a tax exempt form. It's called like 1,000 different things.
And on top of that, if you've got like a business name, you can't even get a bank account. In that, like if somebody were to write you a check to, like if somebody were to write us a check to the family flips, unless we had a DBA, we couldn't even open a bank account to cash that check. So it's really, it's just going to save you a lot of, and then if you want to get like insurance, if you're going to store stuff, like you're going to want to have a business license just to be able to grow the business in that way.
And to say, Uncle Bo, like it's probably maybe a long-term thing. I don't know. The margins on pallets are so small. You don't make a lot of pallets. Is that you may, sell a pallet for $500, but these liquidators, they're lucky if they're making $75, $100 if they're super lucky per pallet. So that's only a 20% profit. Whereas I would rather buy something for $100 and sell it for $100 right now. I think long-term, maybe we may look into that as we have more cash flow, and we have different stuff available. But right now, I just think with the way the economy is, the uncertainty, it's just not a wise decision to start something new when there's already competition in our local area.
The main reason that we would do it is just to get our pallets cheaper. Like that's one of the, like we would be able to profit a little bit, but that would not be our number one motivation. Our number one motivation is like, we want to be able to get a variety of pallets. And we want to be able to, because for unboxing, we don't want to unbox a truckload of, Amazon, whatever, something very simple or like, whatever. But like if we could get those and then sell through those, use that, use the little bit of extra that we use, to when we sell our pallets, then we can use that money to buy more so we can get variety of pallets. That's pretty much the only reason we would do it to begin with. So it's not like we're not in a huge rush to do that right now. But it is in the works so that we can achieve our goals and help other people out while we're doing it. So I hope that, Edward, you're welcome, man. We really appreciate you being on here and asking questions and engaging with us. We really do appreciate it. I do want to let you guys know that I got these shoes off 888 Lots.
She did.
I love these shoes, y'all. They're so comfy.
I love those. We had so much fun. I had more fun unboxing the women's shoes than Jessica did because the quality, like we got several shoes that were over $100. I think we only paid, I mean, granted this like 3 weeks ago, I think we paid like $500, maybe $400. I don't remember exactly.
Woo,
thank you so much, Edward, for like 39 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly how much. I've talked about it in some vlogs here and there, but we've been selling the shoes. It's so exciting. We've been selling the heck out of the beauty store stuff. Like we've been selling so much stuff from it. So much stuff is so exciting.
Rune Flinger, is that how you say that? That sounds like a gamer tag. I'm wondering if that's like a gamer tag or something. Wants to know, do we need a pallet jack to get pallets off the truck? Well, if you're gonna get them yourself, maybe you can make it work without it. A lot of times, like if you're organizing your own freight, you pay for like a lift gate, they may be able to help you move your pallets where they need to go, but then make sure that they're where they need to be because it's gonna be very hard for you to move them afterwards.
They need to set it where it's gonna stay.
Yes, it's a worthwhile investment to get one, but it's not an end all if you can't get one right away. If that makes sense. I mean, you can find some used ones for pretty cheap. And by cheap, I mean like maybe $150 to $175. So that may not be cheap for everyone. But for the usefulness of it, it will pay for itself tenfold. But you don't have to have anything. I mean, you can make it work.
Yeah. There are lots of tools that can save you time and energy, which will allow you to devote more time to other aspects of your reselling business.
I don't know what that was.
Yep. And Angelites, a lot of them are doing it right now because a lot of them are breaking down pallets and sell them. And I'm learning so much more from liquidators. It's amazing. Like you get on TV and people will talk to you that didn't used to talk to you. And for real, like it sucks. Like I hate that that's the way our culture operates. You're in a position of prominence, so like I'll talk to you, whereas before I wouldn't even, so I hate that, but also like I've been getting so much information about just how liquidators operate, how they function, and all that. So, and I have been, Mary, I've been sharing a lot with you guys.
Well, it's one of those things when we were a smaller channel, we reached out to a lot of people and nobody would give us the time of day.
No.
And Joe and I, it was really, really disheartening because it's not like we're asking for much. We were never asking for much. We were trying to ask questions, trying to see if we could figure something out. We weren't asking for money. We weren't asking for, hours and hours of time. But sometimes we would just send emails asking questions and not getting a response back.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's really important for Joe and I that we try to figure out as we grow. Now we are definitely struggling with balancing everything, but making sure that we get back to people and that we help smaller channels out and that we share information. Like if people are going to talk to us, then we're just going to turn around and tell everybody else because it's only fair.
It's helping y'all make more informed decisions.
Yes. I mean, we're not special, y'all. Like we're not like crazy special people. Like we were at the right place at the right time. We were unboxing at the right time. Amy just happened to find us. And we just got really blessed and we got really lucky. And so for us to be able to do that, like this was not something that we just kind of did on our own or that we made happen. Yeah. So if it's going to happen to us, we're just going to make sure that everybody benefits from it. Yeah. So that's kind of where we stand in all of that.
Yeah.
So.
And we would love to be able to help everybody out.
Yeah.
Like we get lots of questions and I don't know, I'm sure y'all can know this in life. There's some people that ask questions because they want you to give them all the answers. And there's some people that they want help because they really genuinely have a desire to learn. And those, like, we want to help those people out. Like we will help, like, you know, we've got a liquidation guide that we're wanting. If you just want answers, like here, like this is, you can get this. But there's a difference between people asking because they want information, just to use you for information. There's different than people that actually, they want help. Like they genuinely want to do something different in life. And those people we are willing to spend time on at the same time. Like, we have to take care of us too.
Yeah. So that's where, the things like the Liquidator Guide, the YouTube, and we want to be able to give our knowledge in more variety, easily accessible stuff. And that's one reason why we commit to doing these lives on Thursday nights as well, so that we can help people out.
Yeah.
But I will say that if you're not willing to do the research yourself, if you're not willing to, watch other YouTube videos, if you're not willing to invest in the education of it, if you're not willing to invest the time that it takes to learn, if you're not willing to start small and resell things in your own home just to start making some money now, then it doesn't matter how many questions you ask me. I'm not going to be able to make it happen for you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people ask me questions because they want me to essentially tell them what my business model is, or what our business model is, so that they can replicate it. But there's too much, and it may not work for you. It may not work in your region. It may not work in the space that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why it's so important to learn the foundational parts of this by doing your own research and getting your own questions answered. And we're here to help you do that. But in the end, it's got to be yours. You know what I mean? Because if it's not yours, then it's not going to survive. Yeah.
And it's like, at the end of the day, like, information is only information.
Yes.
That you still have to do something. And that's the key, is doing something. No matter what it is, like people who want to get started reselling and they want to buy liquidation and stuff, like, but you're like, K&J says that, you're fearful of it. Well, then just start selling the extra stuff that you have, because you may find out, like, you hate selling. Like, you may hate taking pictures. You may hate talking to people. You may hate shipping stuff. Like, you may hate doing all of that, or maybe you love it. But it's easy to start when you don't have as much money invested in it, versus, like, we get somebody commented, I don't know if they're watching or not, but they're like, I bought a pallet of this stuff. It was like from a Home Depot. They're like, how do I sell it? I'm like, that probably should have been a question that you asked before you ever bought it, because that's what we say. Like, before you ever buy, figure out what are your sales channels are going to be. Like, where are your main ways that you're going to sell?
But see, the best ways that you can do that is to start off by selling things you already own, because there's no initial investment, right? So start selling on Facebook Marketplace, start selling on eBay. I know y'all have clothes in your closet that you do not need. Like, I know that you guys have DVDs that you don't watch anymore. You guys have books that you've used for book clubs and college and whatever it is that you use. I know your kids have books that they read twice and didn't even really like. Like, you've got, really, like, this really great juicer that you had every intention of juicing, in January 1st, and it never happened. Like, you've got stuff you can resell. Yeah. Start there. Start learning how to list things. Start learning how to ship things. Make mistakes on a smaller scale. Then use that money that you've invested after you've made, because on top of that, if you're selling on eBay, you've got listing blockages anyway. There's only so many things you can list anyway. So go ahead and get that started so you can start earning more listings. And then with the money that you make from that, invest that into your business. That way you're not spending your light bill on sourcing, which I don't recommend anyway. You're not spending your rent money or your food money. You're earning an extra income, minimizing your home and reducing
You're
clutter.
Building your bankroll. You're increasing your
bread machine. Yeah. Exactly.
Question was asked, K&L resell about any items that we always keep in stock. If so, what are they? I'm trying to figure out which ones will sell best.
What items do I use?
I mean, if I had particular items that we did always keep in stock, I unfortunately would not share them. Just being for real. Because then people would go out there and buy those because those are what's selling. And then I just created competition for items that I have found that work for me.
I think the ideal item, whatever they may be, would be a replenishable item, something that needs to be bought more than once.
Things that people need.
Things that people need. Like things, it could be things like, shampoos and conditioners and stuff like that. But it could be something like somebody could consider, like, headphones are replenishable. Those things break, they need replacing, stuff like that. Find something that you are good at, that you are a little knowledgeable at, and try to source items that you're like, okay, I know there's a market for these. I know people will buy them even if they don't have a lot of money to spend. If they have to choose between this thing and something else, they're going to choose this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So find something like that. It could be toothbrushes. I don't know. Maybe not maybe some like power toothbrushes.
On eBay, 60% of the items that sell on eBay are $10 or less.
Yeah.
Imagine that, $10 or less.
Yeah.
That the number one seller on eBay, his average APR is like $9 and some change, but he's doing thousands upon thousands upon thousands of orders every single day with cheap items.
Yeah.
But it's just finding the items. I mean, you have to do a lot of research. Like check everything. Go to eBay, check solds, find things that are selling for more than what they're listed. And those are the items that you want to do. And if you find items, you buy liquidation items, and you're like, man, that sold really fast. Well, then go look. Like take that, do some research, find out, okay, well, these are selling fast. So that's an item that I should look for. Categories, the number one category in eBay is electronics. The number two is clothing. A lot of people, auto parts are very popular. So like you got to do some research and figure out which items those are. But we used to have those items, but we can't source those because the market's changed. So.
Yeah. So now we're having, and that's the thing. It's like, when I want to say even like, it was probably like maybe two months ago, I actually sat on here and said, I don't do liquidation full time. I've got a wholesale business that I sell replenishables on. And then I'm a doula. And now I actually technically am doing a liquidation and YouTube full time because in my state, they're not letting doulas in the hospital. So nobody's paying for my services. And two, the market has changed for my wholesale product. So really technically I kind of am now, aside from YouTube being something that I do also to kind of help, but I kind of consider it all one. But we could find other things to wholesale. Or I could, offer online childbirth classes, but I've got a great community of doulas that are already doing that. I was like, I'm already making money over here. Let me just send my clients there. Yeah. And we all work together to serve the greater good here.
Yeah.
So
cucumber. People buy DVDs.
Yeah, they do.
We have sold every DVD online that we have ever listed online.
We even had some in the flea market booth, and most of those are gone too.
And they were selling we were selling DVDs for like $15, $20. Not every DVD, because you got to do your research, but DVDs do sell well. So TJ, just get it listed. That's right.
TJ, yes. I like your vlogs.
Yes.
I was laughing so hard. There was one that he had done where he was cleaning out a room in his store.
Patrice. I don't think her name is Patrice.
No, but it was so funny because it was like
mission to save the world.
This is very cinematographic.
Very well produced.
It was very well produced, and it was like this great music and everything, and like it was just him looking at the mess looking at him, looking
mission
at the mess.
to recover merchandise from
That's a different one. I'm talking about that's a different one.
I'm like, man, TJ, like,
I get really
making
jealous.
me look bad. Like, I want to be able to do that.
If y'all like our style vlog videos, you'll like TJ's too. He's so funny. He's pallet jacking. And so, I recommend it.
That's the key, Mary, is making mistakes. So many people are afraid of messing up that they don't do, and they fail to realize that the mistakes are the teachers that actually propel us to be successful in life and business.
I actually have a post scheduled for that. I think that is scheduled. I think it's going to go out on Saturday.
Yep, Autobuff is absolutely right. Plan first, then buy second.
Yes.
That is. I wish I would have learned that a long time ago.
We learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I'm like, bye. Now let's figure it out. And now I'm like, let's slow down a little bit. And
I think the key is, with liquidation and with business in general, is that you should always have a goal to work towards, but also appreciate where you are in the process. Because if you're always going to the next thing, you're never going to be satisfied. Because as soon as you achieve that goal, you won't even celebrate it because you'll know there's another goal. It's like, that's just what's going to always happen. So appreciating where you are now will keep you from moving too fast.
Yeah.
I thought there was other questions.
Maritza asked, do you have to get an EIN, an employee identification number? You don't have to, but if you have employees, then yes, you will need to get one, especially if you are a sole proprietor. they are just going to want your business license. There is I forget the form. There's a form that a lot of liquidators will have you fill out. It covers many states, but it makes sure it has your business license on there. That's what they're needing.
Yeah.
So
that's for Rich, by the way. And then there was, and Rich also wants to know how many pillows. I don't know, 10,000 gazillion.
I don't think we have any pillows. We've got some in the flea market booth.
I didn't know that.
I sold a lot of them locally to a lot of people. I sold a lot. I think all we have left is the 24 by 24 inch pillows. So, Murray, and the thing is like clothing is becoming more like the big box retail, like Macy's, JCPenney's. They are now selling used clothes because, I mean, there's a lot more competition, but there's a lot of clothes that are available out there. I think it sells so much because there's so much available out there. So yes, but eBay does sell clothes. It's a lot more customers on eBay.
Coupon Cucumber, I do have a blog. It's really geared towards business builders. It's geared towards resellers. So if you're really into, at some point I may start doing different content, but for right now, that's where my mind is. So that's what I write about because it's usually like watered down sections of the liquidation guide to make it easily digestible.
Yeah.
But it is at www.familyflips.com/blog. And so there's a lot of stuff there. Basically, whatever the climate is talking about, whatever's going on in the reselling world, things that I'm noticing people talk about, I usually try to address in a blog for people who want that. But the post that I was talking about regarding enjoying the process,
yes,
that is part of the raw and real part of posting that I do for YouTube memberships. I share things like that as well on our social media accounts. But there are a lot of people who just really aren't into and aren't interested in that kind of stuff. So that's why I put it specifically on YouTube memberships so that the people who actually want it can have it.
Tom asked, how many items a day do we try to get listed? As much as we can. I mean, right now, like we have an inventory shortage. We don't have enough. Like I would love to be able to list items in the afternoon. We've got Whitney watch. We've moved things around a lot, but I would love to be able to list items also in addition to Whitney, but we just don't have enough inventory. I've found some stuff that I'm going to buy. We'll never be able to share it on YouTube or anything because I just can't because I don't want to get liquidators in trouble. There's some programs out there that they can't advertise, they can't talk about on social media, they can't talk about on YouTube. So I want to make sure I protect those people that I will be buying from. But when that happens, like we plan on probably, 60, 70, 100 listings a day is what a realistic number probably will be. But it's all small items, so we'll have enough inventory space for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was reading.
Okay.
Everybody was pumping up TJ in April, and I was
yes.
like, yeah. Sorry.
I think Quick Lots. We've never bought Quick Lots because we've heard they suck. I talked to the owner with Quick Lots, and they used to be Amazon sellers, and then they realized that they could make more money doing this than Amazon. They have a pretty good sorting system. They buy Amazon small box pallets, small box pallets. And then they have a pretty elaborate sorting process that sorts. I feel like for the value, there are better value buys out there than Quick Lots. I don't know about TJ. TJ may have a different take, but I think we've talked about Quick Lots before, and you weren't overly impressed also. We've got
500 items that aren't listed. That may be exaggerated. We actually might have 500. We have a lot of, that's what TJ said. I just thought it was funny.
I don't know if we have that much anymore. I got rid of so much stuff.
I was shocked. So we have all of these like batteries that came from like cell phones and
I still have those.
And
I gotta recycle them.
Well, yes, but we also had like, Joe's one of those person, like if we ended up getting like a lot of cell phones or something, like he would bring them in, and if it was broken and like obviously couldn't be fixed, then he would keep the back and the battery. And we had, I'm talking like 4 or 5 of these like 2.5 foot bins full of batteries and battery covers. And I'm talking like we had them back in like when we were at our old 81 square foot bedroom. We moved it to the 1,000 square foot bedroom, or 1,000 square foot office space. Then we moved it to our warehouse, and then we moved it back into our garage. And I'm like, we're never gonna get rid of these things. Like, he's always gonna want them. And then one day he came in, he goes, we need more space. Whitney, we got to figure out a way to get rid of all this stuff. And then I walk in, and Whitney's like putting stuff in trash bags. Like, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know.
We didn't throw batteries away.
We can't.
They were plastic battery
covers,
like back covers to phones.
I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, we're just growing.
I've been clearing out stuff. I realized, I don't know, I've just been learning a lot of lessons in this season. So it's been nice. And
that's what we need to do, TJ. We need to get a dumpster too.
Yeah. Betsy asked about when shipping, how do you determine the package and carrier? I go by really weight and size. eBay is somewhat at a disadvantage in that they do not have cubic shipping built into their shipping platform from the Postal Service. Cubic shipping is really anything 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches in size. You can save a lot of money through like pirate ship, but it really just depends on the weight and the size of the item. With eBay, the heavier it is, obviously you want to use flat rate shipping with like the Postal Service, but if it doesn't fit in that, try and do regional A, regional 2 boxes, regional B boxes, which you can get all of those shipping supplies for free from the Postal Service. I go that route. And then it's just heavier stuff, UPS or FedEx. It's just something that you learn over time. Like there's not a YouTube video that you can watch that you're going to be able to learn, okay, well, I can do this with shipping.
Right.
Like shipping is, in my opinion, shipping is one of the things we're just going to have to learn, and you're going to have to lose some money in order to start focusing on, okay, well, I'm not going to do that again.
And that's why we always recommend you start small. So you can learn these kinds of things when you're not drowning in inventory that you're trying to make your money back on.
Yeah.
So if you can start selling and then, I even say once you have enough money to buy to actually buy inventory after selling from your own home, don't even buy a pallet, buy a lot.
Yeah.
Buy a lot first. Get yourself, go to these places where you can get boxes, because that's just, it's the same concept, but it's smaller and you can have it shipped to you in like more traditional places. You have to organize freight. So freight's not even something you have to worry about until you figure out how to process and store and inventory and list all of these stuff that comes in an actual box. So,
Harold talks about selling on multiple platforms, and I agree to a certain degree with that. If you are just brand new selling on eBay and you're not selling a whole lot, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't advise selling on multiple platforms. One, each platform has their own learning curve in relation to policies, shipping, all of those things, release of money, release of funds. Also, there's a different product mix that sells on different platforms that when you're first starting out, I would pick one platform and go from that. The platform I'd probably choose is eBay because it encompasses, it's a lot wider customer base than Mercari or Poshmark, than those places. And then once you get to a sustained, say you're wanting to do $100 a day. Well, once you get to that point where you're consistently selling $100 a day, then in my opinion, you start adding on different marketplaces because you're established. You have proven to yourself that you are consistent. You've done this. Now start putting more time and energy into other platforms because there's time that takes from cross-listing. Granted, there's software that you can get that will cross-post for you, but you still have to end the listing. And if you're just learning the ropes, like when you sell an item on Mercari, but then you forget to unlist it on eBay, right? That could be a huge detriment to you because if you don't even realize that you sold it on Mercari, it's been shipped out, and then you sold it on eBay, and then you go to ship it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have this because I forgot to unlist it.
I've done it before.
Right? And then if you don't sell that much, then you're going to get a mark on your account. And if you get too many on eBay, like when you're having to cancel transactions and you don't have a lot of transactions to cover you to begin with, then you're going to get in trouble. So that's why I say wait until you have proven that you have a good track record and you can take care of that store, then start selling on other platforms.
Yep.
So
I'm trying to see what else is going on. Laura, we do put kids' items aside to sell. We don't really put it aside to sell during Christmas. We will list it if we have to move it, because like for us, like for example, we got a whole bunch of Christmas stuff in a pallet, and we were like, okay, well, do we hold on to all of this stuff for another 3 to 4 months, and then sell it at a higher price, or do we go ahead and list it now, sell it for less because it's out of season? And we opted for the latter. We wanted to sell things quickly. We wanted to get them out and that's one of those things where that decision, there's no right or wrong answer for that. It really depends on how much space you have, because we don't have a lot of space to store that stuff, and we don't want to be bothered with it while we're just trying to move inventory out the door. We chose to sell it for less, and we did, and most of that stuff is gone. And some stuff we ended up keeping, but kids stuff like toys and stuff, we don't normally hold on to it, but we may source kids stuff and things that would make good gifts. Like we'll keep that in mind when we're sourcing lots and pallets. Yep. Like if we're, if right now, for example, like we're in the end of September, beginning of October, like we strategically bought a lot of toys because Christmas is coming around the corner. But if we were to get them earlier in the year, we probably would just list them.
Yeah. I would list, if you have it, list it.
Yeah.
If you can sell it beforehand, then you can just use that money and buy more stuff.
Yeah.
I'd rather have an item sitting on the shelf listed than an item sitting on the shelf waiting to be listed.
Yeah, because if it moves, then that's money in your pocket. That's money that you can invest in your business. You don't want all your money sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Waiting. Rich asked about uship.com for pallets. I have used uship.com. They're just a broker that they have relationships with other shipping companies. But we use ArcBest. They're a company here in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. They are worldwide. They gave us really good rates for shipping, so that's who we use now.
Yep. Tom King, do you cross-sell on platforms? If so, how do you keep track of it? We don't do a lot of
We don't do any cross-selling.
Yeah.
When we sold on Amazon, we cross-sold on eBay because there is a software that we use called Listing Mirror that would take all of our inventory from Amazon and would put it onto eBay for us. Whenever we sold something from eBay, it would unlist it from Amazon. Whenever we sold it from Amazon, it would unlist it from eBay. They have software that is made. It's called List Perfectly. There's another one, I forget what it's called, that will cross-post items from eBay to Mercari. It may also include Poshmark. I don't know, but it doesn't do automation that you have to move it over, and then when an item sells, you have to unlist it. And for that reason, I don't do it. TJ,
that is so smart.
What?
If you sell something that's been sold already, biggest thing is don't panic. If you can, drop ship it from another platform, if possible, to save your metrics. How did I not think of this?
Exactly. That's why I have 2 eBay accounts, because if I do it, then I will just buy it from my other eBay account and ship it. It's happened before.
I've never done that. How come you never told me how you've done that? For some reason, I've just been in the dark about that, because I was like, obviously, that's a genius move. Yeah. Anyway, all right, I digress, because I apparently had no idea that this was a thing that you could do.
Smaller Lots, I believe Smaller Lots is out of Tennessee. They're a legit company, but UPS clearly is having some major logistical issues out there.
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one who didn't think that was just absolutely brilliant, because I was like Joe's like, well, obviously, and
I've been doing eBay for 7 years.
And I'm like, bro, how did I not know this? Like, how are we married and you've been doing this to save metrics and I didn't even know?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Paying attention. I don't know. That was cool. I'm like, yeah.
You learn lots of tricks.
You hit TJ's nerve on
mission
on you.
Product recovery from UPS. Patricia, do you accept to save the world? I know it's not exactly what you said, TJ. You just need to come to Arkansas. It'd be easier for you to come to Arkansas than us to go to Tennessee, because we got kids and stuff.
But I want to go to Tennessee. I do want to go to Tennessee.
You know, I think we could just hang out for like a week, and we'd have a lot of fun.
Make some really epic vlogs.
Yes.
Do not let him fly your drone.
You edit better than I do, so we'll probably have you edit them. Because, yes.
No, we should do one of those things that Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat do, where they both vlog the same thing, but in their own style.
Yeah.
And then post them on the same day.
Yeah. I'm excited. Casey Neistat, like all of the main vloggers on YouTube have started vlogging daily again.
Why?
I'm interested to see what effects it has on YouTube, because YouTube used to favor vloggers over other stuff. It's changed over the last couple of years, but I don't know. I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll see. I thought we missed a question. Nervins. Yes. I don't know. eBay membership. It's not the cheap one. I think it depends on the store. I don't even know. I just pay the bill, you know? I think it's not the Anchor store. One store is the one below the Anchor store. And then the other store is the one above the others, the bottom one.
I can't with you right now.
You know, I just paid the bill. I'm sorry. But I'm going to switch them because the one used to be our replenishables, and we used to list, 300 items a week, 300 items a week. So we needed more listings for that one. But the other one, now the liquidation one is the one that's coming.
I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. It's getting late.
We probably should say this is our first goodbye because we haven't eaten dinner yet. It's 8:17.
Y'all, some of y'all didn't hear this story, and I need validation in this. So I was so excited because I'm at my office space now.
Why did
And in walking, I didn't do that. In walking distance is a really good restaurant, and I haven't been able to go to restaurants in a while because a lot of dining areas are closed still here for COVID. But this one, you can go in and anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I ordered some enchiladas and I was super stoked about these enchiladas. And then the kitchen forgot our ticket and we had to come back here to be able to be on time for the thing. And so I didn't get my enchiladas. I had to say
Lone Star Picker. I'm not sure what happened. Accidentally didn't allow your comment. But you can redo that because that was a pretty cool little graphic thing you did. I don't even know how you did it. But if you could retype it, because I don't know.
Enchiladas are my favorite. And I didn't get any. So what I'm going to do is when we get off of here, I'm going to order enchiladas for pickup. And I'm going to get me some enchiladas because it's like Joe was like, well, we still have a little bit of time. Like I can swing by and get you something quick. And I'm like, nothing else will do. Like I had looked at the menu. I made an educated decision and I landed logically and logistically on these very specific enchiladas.
Catherine has a good question. I'm sorry about your enchiladas. Catherine asked what about small items that are less than a pound? I've got to move some of this small stuff, but I don't think it'll be worth it on eBay. When I was doing listing by myself, I wouldn't list anything. I would try to, if it was under $20, I wasn't listing it because of my time. It was worth more. Obviously, with liquidation, you get items sometimes that are under $20 and they're less than a pound. I would try and do like a garage sale, a blowout sale, something where you just store them and then you have a sale and you move them all at one time.
Yep.
But if it's less than a pound, I think that's the ideal weight because that's all first class mail. So the maximum it's going to cost you to ship is around $5.50, depending on how far it's going from you. But if, there's some items, if I have like lots of like 3 or 4 of them, I don't mind. I'll list it if it's $9.99. I even list stuff that's $7.99 now, but we've also got employees. We've got virtual assistants. So like we're able to do that now. But if it's several items, we would list it. But you just got to, eBay's not the place for everything online. If it's something least expensive like that, online's not the place. Garage sale, flea market.
Local
swap meet, someplace like that.
Payasita, can you please let me know why 888 lots ask for social security and business credit card and a lot of things? Any idea? I asked them, but they are not very friendly. Oh, I'm really sorry that you had a negative experience.
I'm not sure why. I mean, I think with anything, if you're going to be purchasing lots of money from somebody, they have to report their income, because it's almost like contract stuff. Why they're asking for social security number, I don't know. I don't believe they asked for mine, but they did ask for, maybe they did because it was in place of the EIN number. And if you don't have an employee identification number, then it asks for your social security number as a sole proprietor. It's for tax purposes. They're not going to steal your information. But it has to do with that process. They're looking for an EIN number. And if you don't have it, then you have to enter your social security number. But I'm not sure. I know they're from New Jersey, and I don't know where you're from. I know, sometimes people in the North can be perceived as being rude. It's more cultural, even though they're not being rude. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It could have been
somebody. Or maybe somebody had a really bad day.
Yeah.
Could have been like
but I'm sorry if they did. We just buy from them. We don't have any other relationship. We're just buying from them.
I have been to the Diamond Crater, but have never gotten a diamond.
Yep.
I know people who
have. Been?
Yeah.
To Murfreesboro? I want to go.
Yeah.
Speedy, she was born in California.
Yeah, but I was only there until I was 2.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't even really remember it. But I am technically California born.
Yeah. But we live in Arkansas, in central Arkansas.
I don't know where I'm from technically. I guess I would say that I'm from
I was
Arkansas,
made in Missouri.
But we're both military children. So my parents, they moved around a lot and I went with them. So I've lived in Japan and Germany. And then around, I think I was 9 years old when I moved to Arkansas and have been here ever since.
Yeah.
Went to college here, got married here. So I guess Arkansas is my home.
Thank you, Debbie. Debbie, yes, for answering that question. You did it more eloquently and a lot less words than I did. So thank you.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Payasita, you should read Debbie's comment. That was really good.
Yeah. So this is, let's see. Enchiladas. I'm just trying to make sure we didn't miss anything.
I really appreciate you guys validating my enchilada experience.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's fine. I could talk about enchiladas all day long. So
Coupon Cucumber has the last question that we'll answer before we go about eBay store. We have an eBay store. Do we do auctions or both? We do 99.9% buy it now with best offer. We do auctions for a few items. Whenever I see an item that's been listed for a couple of weeks, nobody's bought it, but it has 14 or 15 watchers, I'll send it to an auction and sell it that way. Or if it's an item that I'm not really able to appraise it very well, I don't know what the market value is, I'll send it to auction and let the people bidding on it determine the market value.
I'm laughing at Mariella. She goes, born and raised in New York, we are rude. But it's the concrete I need to be here attitude.
What's that? Yeah.
I mean, it was really weird. The first time I ever went to Chicago, I've been to Chicago a few times, and because I had a friend who had family up there, we would just go up there sometimes. So at the time I was a smoker, so I always had to stop at multiple gas stations to get cigarettes because I was a heavy smoker. But I was also a college kid, so I didn't just have money to just buy cartons of cigarettes. So I'd spend more money in the long run buying. Anyway, that's the point. The point is that I went and I would always go to the gas station. I would always go to the same one, and people would want to know about my dog and how's your mom and them, what's going on, kind of thing. Did you pass your test or whatever, blah blah blah, kind of thing. And even if they didn't ask, I'd offer up information oh yeah, I'm going to such and such place, gonna do a thing, and people would be oh yeah, okay, well yeah, I've been there, have you been to this place? And we just have this conversation. That's just what you do in the South. I tried to do that in Chicago. Dude looked at me I had 3 heads. He was why are you talking to me right now? Take your cigarettes and go. And I'm oh, Okay. And that's my first experience in the South. I mean, in the North. So that was fun. I look back on it fondly. Okay, seriously.
You're cute.
You're cute.
Thank you.
But I'm the funny one.
She is funny.
Anyways, does anybody? We're gonna go get some enchiladas. I would ask.
I don't want no enchiladas.
Well,
I don't like
he
enchiladas.
Likes fajitas. But I would say we're gonna go get some food. I was gonna ask you guys if you wanted to come, but you guys can't because you're all over the world. So you might have to just like, you know what I'm saying? Why is it so quiet? Oh, do you drive far to get your pallets? No.
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours to go to Market Street.
The first 2 years, we've been doing this for right around 2 years. For the first 2 years, we always had pallets delivered to us. We bought, a lot of people, I'm going to give a spiel real quick. A lot of people complain about liquidation.com. I want to say liquidation.com, we only buy one kind of pallet from liquidation.com. That's it. It's an Amazon shelf pull pallet. When they have them, they haven't had any in months. We would buy from there. That's the only pallets that we buy online. All the other purchases that we make is, hey, do you have this pallet? I do. I want 3 of them. Okay. Like, that's the extent of our online shopping. Like, we don't like.
That's so true.
That's why we tell people it's important to build relationships with liquidators, because they know, like, you build a relationship, you pay them quickly, they'll tell you when they get the good stuff, because they know, because they want that money back in the bank fast.
Yep.
They just dropped $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on this truckload. They want that money back in the bank quickly. So having relationships with these liquidators and salespeople, depending on how large they are, like you build a relationship. They get a particular pallet in. Like if you want like Walmart electronics pallets, only a few of those come in for every Walmart general merchandise load. They say, hey, Joe, I just got this pallet in. Do you want it?
The best way to build a relationship with a liquidator is to pay on time every time.
Yeah.
Do what you say you're going to do. You know, a lot of times you can even, a lot of places that you have like a direct line, you can ask for a direct phone number to whoever your representative is when you call. And then every single time say, hey, this is so-and-so. I want this much, pay immediately. Because here's the deal. Like if they're trying to move stuff, and like what Joe said, they're trying to move stuff, get stuff back in their bankroll, they can trust that you want these pallets and that you're going to pay for them. If you say that you want them, like they're going to be more apt to work with you.
Yep. So the way to do it is you call them, you talk to them, you ask what pallets they have. You will probably find pallets that they have that they can advertise online or on their Facebook groups, because there's certain pallets, there's certain programs from Amazon that they can't talk about. And if they talk about, then they can no longer buy from Amazon or buy from their contractor. And that's lots of money. Mm-hmm. There's some pallets out there that sell for $3,000 or $4,000 per pallet. That may have $20,000 in merchandise that they can never talk about.
Yeah.
So what you do is, you know, like we only buy those pallets from liquidation.com. Like that's what we buy. That is it. When they have them, the rest of them, it's through sales reps. You call them, you say, hey, I want to talk to you. This is what I'm doing. These are the sales platforms I'm trying to sell in. What do you recommend? And they say, hey, well, these pallets, and they're like, okay, then I want some of those. And then they send you an invoice, you pay, you figure out when you get it, am I going to make money or not? But you build that relationship that way. You build that trust, and it works out. It's a long-term thing.
Yep.
And then the other one is if you can drive to a liquidator, meet them that way, get a tour, get a feel for them. That's how you build relationships.
Yeah, I see that a lot of those places that are doing like the online auctions like liquidation.com, they don't really do a lot of the same things. You're wanting to look at the liquidators that are a little farther down the line, like your more local stuff. Like what Joe said, they're dealing with sales reps. So those are the people you want to really build relationships with. That's why we only buy one type of pallet from liquidation.com. We go online and we bid on it. If we win, we try to bid on, we're like, okay, we need to get 3 or 4 pallets. So we bid strategically. We have a budget. We bid strategically. We get the pallets. Then we call them. We organize our shipping or whatever if they let us do it. Sometimes COVID's changed some things. And that's it. We don't really have that kind of conversation with liquidation.com. It's the other liquidators that we talk to and that we do those kinds of things.
Those online places, like the pictures suck on purpose. Like every online place has a picture of the front and the top and sometimes from the side, but I think they make them sucky enough on purpose so that you don't know what's inside.
I don't think they're really worried about it. I think that they get so many pallets that they're like, put it on there, take a quick picture, take it off and file it. Put it on there, take a picture, take it off and file it. Because they're just trying to move it. Like they're just trying to get it out, you know?
Yeah.
But they're awful. The pictures are awful.
And if you can zoom in, you look at a picture to find out like maybe you can make that a brand name and stuff and that. But then if you're buying like, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out when you're buying a pallet based off of one item that you see, but sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So like it's like you gotta buy it to figure out what's inside.
Hi Lisa. So, I know you said hi to me earlier and I didn't get a chance to say hi, but hi, it's so nice to see you. I'm so glad that you've been watching us. I know it's been crazy. Y'all's support have been crazy.
Yeah. And there's no real art form when it comes to buying online. Just look at the pictures, make sure it's, you know, look at the weight. That's it. So,
Speedy, we have 3 kids. We have an 8-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old. And isn't that crazy? They're growing up so fast. But on Thursday nights, they usually get to have fun with family while we do this for a little while. Yeah. So, speaking of, it is really, really
enchilada time.
I really need some enchiladas, y'all. But thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. This was very, very like an sometimes. Now, for those of you who don't know, we do these lives every Thursday. And sometimes it's kind of like a hangout, entertainment kind of thing. Sometimes it's like this, where it's very, very informative, and we talk a lot about like liquidation. But the goal around this is whatever you guys need. If you guys start talking to us, asking questions, great. If not, we'll start telling you funny stories and we'll start connecting with you guys in that way. So it's really just up to you guys. We're just here to connect with you and to you know, we want to be able to talk more, you know, in real time. So
we thank everybody. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
I was going to say the exact same thing. So
I was going to say thank you for all the super chats this evening. That was awesome. Mary, for I'm excited. Our first Weekend Warrior member.
Yeah,
it's exciting. So we appreciate y'all.
And until next time, guys, we love you. Peace.